There's a quiet story many seniors carry with them, one that rarely gets told, even though it's felt in countless homes across the world. It's the story of moving in with your children, stepping into their space, their life, and suddenly feeling smaller. Not physically, but inside, emotionally, spiritually. It's the kind of change that creeps in gently at first, then tightens like a slow squeeze on the heart. Dennis was 80 when a stroke left him needing more care. His daughter welcomed him into her home with open arms, making sure he was comfortable and cared for. They treated him well, he never doubted that. But there was a silence beneath the surface. Whispers that weren't meant to be heard, but that found their way to his ears. Talks about money, about extra groceries, about the way he was caring without ever saying a word. I heard him whispering, Dennis told me one afternoon, voice low and cautious. They're not blaming me, but sometimes I feel like I cost too much to love. This feeling, this quiet burden of being a cost rather than a cherished family member, is more common than most realize. It is a subtle erosion of self-worth that happens when seniors feel like they've become a problem instead of a person. They retreat into their rooms, speak less, and try not to ask for anything. It is not about selfishness or laziness. It's about a deeply human fear of being a burden. But this shrinking doesn't just affect the spirit. It bleeds into the body. The slump in posture, the dimming eyes, the loss of the spark that once lit up a room, all signs that someone is giving up pieces of themselves because they believe they no longer belong. What Dennis's story teaches us is this: living independently, no matter how modestly, holds power beyond measure. The freedom to open your own door, to decide your own schedule, even to choose what to eat or when to rest, isn't just about logistics. It's about dignity. It's about holding on to a piece of yourself that says, I am still here. I still matter. When seniors manage their own space, even if it's just a small apartment or a cozy room down the hall, they reclaim their agency. And that agency is more than pride. It's a foundation for health. When you feel you belong, when you have control over your life, you move more freely, laugh more often, and reach out to others with renewed energy. But what happens when seniors move in with their children? Suddenly, they read not just entering a physical space, they read stepping into an emotional ecosystem already buzzing with its own rhythms and routines. Your child has spent years building a family culture, how they raise their kids, the rules they live by, the rhythms of their days. Simple things when they eat dinner, how they discipline the children, the way quiet time is respected. These are the threads holding the family tapestry together. And when a parent moves in, those threads shift. No matter how loving the household, the balance changes. The daughter may suddenly feel she needs to justify her parenting choices more often. The son might avoid sensitive conversations with his spouse to spare a parent's feelings. Grandchildren, sensing the subtle changes, act differently around the new family member. It's not blame, it's human nature. Presence shifts dynamics, and even the smallest changes ripple through the household like invisible waves. One senior, Rose, told me how she noticed her grandchildren playing quieter when she was around, how her daughter suddenly became more tense during family meals, and how her son-in-law walked on eggshells when discussing weekend plans. Rose didn't want to intrude, but she also felt like a stranger in a house that should have felt like home. This interference with family dynamics is one of the hidden struggles seniors face living under their children's roofs. The intention is love, but the impact can be complicated. And if these feelings go unspoken, they may deepen the isolation seniors try so hard to avoid. Why does this matter? Because when seniors feel like a burden, their health suffers. Studies show that emotional well-being is tightly linked to physical health. Loneliness and depression can accelerate cognitive decline, increase risks of heart disease, and weaken the immune system. So, what's the answer? How can families bridge this delicate gap between love and independence, support and space? It starts with communication and respect. Open, honest talks about expectations, boundaries, and feelings are essential. Children must understand that while they want to care for their parents, giving them room to be autonomous is part of that care. Dennis eventually asked his daughter if he could have a small room with a lock, a place just for him. That request wasn't about shutting them out. It was about carving a corner of the world where he could breathe freely, think clearly, and be himself. His daughter agreed, and something shifted. Dennis's posture straightened, his voice grew stronger, and his smile returned, taking steps towards balance. Create personal space. Even in shared homes, a senior's room should be a sanctuary not just physically, but emotionally. A place where they can have privacy, quiet, and control. Encourage daily routines. Seniors benefit when they can maintain habits and activities that make them feel useful and connected to the world. Foster intergenerational respect. Family members should remember that aging parents are not just dependents, they are holders of wisdom, history, and love. Promote outside connections. Encourage seniors to engage with friends, neighbors, and community groups to keep their social life vibrant. Moving in with family can be a blessing, but it can also be a challenge to the very essence of self. Seniors don't just need care. They need space to thrive, to hold on to their identity, and to feel like they belong. Because the story of aging isn't about losing ground. It's about standing tall, even when the world feels like it's shrinking. As we continue this journey into the hidden struggles seniors face when moving in with family, it's important to remember that every story is unique, but some feelings are universal. The tension between needing care and wanting independence is a delicate dance. I met Helen, 85, who had moved in with her son after her husband passed away. Helen loved her son dearly and was grateful for the help, but she noticed something subtle. Her son's tone changed. He became more the caregiver and less the son. Conversations shifted from memories and shared laughter to checklists and reminders about medications and doctor's appointments. Helen said, "I felt like I was a patient, not a mother anymore." That feeling, the loss of role and identity, is deeply painful. When seniors begin to see themselves only through the lens of their needs or limitations, they lose a crucial part of their self-worth. And this loss can impact their emotional and physical well-being. So how can families avoid this? First, by remembering the person beyond the need. Yes, there may be medications to manage and appointments to keep, but there are also stories to share, dreams to discuss, and memories to relive. Keeping seniors involved in family decisions, whether it's planning a holiday meal or choosing the garden, flowers helps preserve their sense of agency. Second, by encouraging seniors to maintain traditions and personal interests. Helen found joy in baking cookies every weekend, a ritual from her younger years. Her son made sure she had space and time to do this, and it became a bridge between past and present, a reminder of who she was beyond her health challenges. But the challenge doesn't stop there. Living together can also strain the caregivers. Caring for a parent isn't easy, especially when balancing a job, children, and other responsibilities. Guilt, frustration, and exhaustion can build up quickly. This strain may unintentionally cause tension and impatience, even in the most loving homes. The key here is to foster compassion on both sides. Caregivers need support, respite, counseling, and understanding. Seniors need patience and kindness as they navigate this new phase of life. Communication that acknowledges these feelings openly can prevent misunderstandings and hurt. Let's look at another example, Margaret, 78, who lived with her daughter's family but felt increasingly invisible. She described it like this: "I'm here, but it's like I'm not. They're busy with their lives, and I'm just part of the furniture." Margaret's story highlights the danger of invisibility, the feeling that you're present but unseen. This is emotionally devastating and can lead to withdrawal and depression. So families should make intentional efforts to include seniors, not just physically, but emotionally. Simple acts like inviting them to share stories, asking for their opinions, or involving them in family activities can make a profound difference. It is also important to recognize that some seniors thrive when they have a routine that combines independence with connection. Take Walter, 82, who lived in a small apartment attached to his daughter's home. He had his own space, but was close enough for daily visits. Walter took pride in managing his own garden, cooking his meals, and attending his book club. This balance kept his spirit alive. Walter said, "I feel part of the family, and yet still myself." Finding this balance is the holy grail of multi-generational living, giving seniors the space to be autonomous while staying emotionally connected. What about the families? How can they support this balance? Respect boundaries. Ask before entering a senior space. Respect their routines and privacy. Promote independence. Encourage seniors to do as much as they can for themselves. Value their contributions, whether it's sharing family history, babysitting grandchildren, or helping with household tasks. Seniors want to feel useful. Practice patience. Aging can slow things down, but rushing or complaining hurts feelings. Create shared rituals. Family dinners, game nights, or weekend walks can strengthen bonds. In the end, moving in with family can be a beautiful chapter, a time of care, love, and renewed connection. But it requires awareness, respect, and intentional effort to protect everyone's dignity. Remember Dennis, who finally got his private room. After that change, he began to open up again, telling stories from his youth and laughing with his grandchildren. The weight of being too much lifted, replaced by a sense of belonging. That's the power of space. The space to be heard, to be respected, and to be yourself. If you or someone you love is facing this transition, remember, it's okay to ask for what you need. It's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to seek balance. Aging is not about shrinking away. It's about standing tall in a new way with grace and love. Now, let us talk about something many seniors and their families don't openly discuss: the subtle but real impact of living together on mental health. When seniors feel like a burden, it can lead to feelings of shame and invisibility, which may spiral into depression. Depression in seniors often looks different than in younger people. It might show up as increased tiredness, loss of appetite, withdrawal from social activities, or even physical pain that doesn't seem to have a medical cause. I remember talking with Eileen, a 77-year-old widow who had moved in with her daughter after a fall. Eileen never said she felt sad or down, but her daughter noticed she stopped smiling, stopped asking about family events, and seemed tired all the time. With gentle encouragement, Eileen opened up about feeling like she was in the way. She worried about the extra expenses, the noise, the disruption. This silent suffering was weighing heavily on her. This example shows why open communication and emotional support are so important. Families can help by checking in regularly, not just about health, but about feelings. Asking questions like, "How are you feeling today?" or "Is there anything you wish was different?" can open doors. Another challenge that often arises is the loss of privacy, not just physical privacy, but the privacy of thoughts and emotions. When living with family, seniors may feel watched or overheard, making them less likely to share worries or frustrations. This bottled-up emotion can build stress and lead to conflict or withdrawal. Creating safe spaces for seniors to express themselves without judgment is essential. This might be a private room, time set aside for one-on-one conversations, or encouraging journaling or other outlets. One of the most powerful antidotes to these challenges is fostering purpose. Humans need purpose at every age. It gives life meaning and keeps the mind and body active. For seniors, having a role even small is critical. Take Joyce, 84, who helped her daughter by organizing family photo albums and teaching her grandchildren to knit. Joyce said, "I feel useful. I feel alive." Encouraging seniors to find or maintain hobbies, volunteer roles, or family tasks can combat feelings of uselessness. The importance of social connection can't be overstated. Moving in with family often means less socializing outside the home, especially if mobility is limited. Families should support seniors in maintaining friendships, attending community events, or joining clubs or groups that interest them. Sometimes transportation or technology help is needed to keep these connections alive. Let's not forget self-care. When seniors lose the feeling of control over their lives, self-care habits often decline. This can be anything from skipping meals, neglecting hygiene, or missing medications. Supporting seniors in maintaining daily routines and independence in self-care is vital. It fosters dignity and health. Lastly, seniors and families should remember that change is constant. What works today may not work tomorrow. Flexibility, patience, and ongoing communication will help everyone adapt as needs evolve. Moving in with family is a complex journey with challenges, but also immense potential for love, growth, and healing. With respect, space, and support, it can become a chapter of renewed connection and joy rather than loss. As we continue, let us dive deeper into the practical ways families and seniors can navigate these challenges together, transforming potential stress into strength. One of the most important tools is setting clear boundaries. Boundaries don't mean walls or distance. They mean respect for each person's needs and limits. For seniors, this could be having designated quiet hours, a private space to retreat to, or specific times when family members check in but don't intrude. For family members, boundaries might mean openly discussing chores, caregiving responsibilities, or financial expectations to avoid misunderstandings. Take Martha and her son, Bill, for example. When Martha moved in after hip surgery, Bill realized he needed to balance helping with giving her room to breathe. They sat down together and agreed on a schedule. Certain mornings Martha would have the house to herself while Bill ran errands, and evenings were family time. This small step improved their relationship immensely, reducing tension and fostering mutual respect. Another key to a healthy multi-generational household is open communication about money. Money can be a sensitive topic, especially when seniors worry about being a financial burden. Yet, avoiding conversations about expenses, contributions, or expectations creates anxiety and resentment. A transparent, compassionate dialogue about finances, who pays for what, budgeting, medical bills, can ease fears and foster trust. It's also vital to support seniors in maintaining autonomy over their healthcare decisions. When living with family, seniors may feel pressured or lose control over their medical choices. Encouraging seniors to speak directly with their doctors, attend appointments if possible, and express their wishes empowers them and ensures their voice is heard. Technology can be a surprising ally in this situation. Helping seniors learn to use smartphones, tablets, or computers to video call friends, manage appointments, or even order groceries can boost independence and morale. I recall Helen, 82, who was hesitant at first but grew to love video chats with her grandchildren. It opened up new avenues for connection and joy. Mental health support is often overlooked but crucial. Encouraging seniors to talk about their feelings, seek counseling if needed, or join support groups can greatly improve emotional well-being. Family members should also watch for signs of depression or anxiety, which can sometimes be hidden behind irritability or withdrawal. Let's also consider the importance of physical activity within the home. Even light exercises like stretching, chair yoga, or short walks around the house can keep muscles strong and spirits high. Family members can join in, making it a fun, bonding activity. To summarize, thriving in a shared home means honoring each person's needs, balancing togetherness with space, care with independence. The journey of living together in later life is full of lessons about love, patience, and the power of connection. And when done with respect and understanding, it can become a treasured chapter, rich in shared memories and mutual support. Now, let us explore some real-life stories that illustrate both the struggles and triumphs of living with family in later years. Take the case of Evelyn, a vibrant 85-year-old woman who moved in with her daughter and grandchildren after a fall. Initially, she felt invisible. The house was bustling with activity, but no one really paused to ask how she was feeling. Her voice, once strong and filled with stories, became quieter. She retreated into her room and rarely joined family meals. But over time, Evelyn's daughter recognized this and decided to change their routine. She started inviting Evelyn to help with cooking, asking her advice on gardening, and setting aside time each day for just the two of them to talk. These small acts restored Evelyn's sense of purpose and belonging. Her laughter returned, and with it, the warmth in the family home. Another story is about Jack, 78, who chose to live with his son's family after his wife passed away. Jack was fiercely independent and initially struggled to accept help. He worried about being a burden and kept his routine strictly to himself. One day, Jack's son suggested they start a weekend project together, building a small herb garden outside. It gave Jack a goal, a way to contribute, and an opportunity to bond. This project helped break down barriers. Jack became more open, more engaged, and less isolated. These stories show us that adapting to a new living situation is a process, sometimes slow, sometimes challenging, but filled with opportunities to grow closer. Let us also talk about the importance of recognizing the signs when living together, ISNT working. Sometimes, despite everyone's best efforts, tension builds and compromises aren't enough. It is okay to acknowledge that the current arrangement isn't sustainable and to explore other options, like assisted living, adult day programs, or home health care. The goal is always the well-being and dignity of the senior, balanced with the capacity of the family. Finally, I want to leave you with this thought. Your worth is not measured by how much you rely on others, but by the love, wisdom, and life you carry with you. Every person deserves to live with respect, purpose, and joy, whether that's in their own home, with family, or in a supportive community. Thank you for spending this time reflecting on a topic that touches so many of us. If you or someone you love is navigating the challenges of shared living, remember, you are not alone. Now, let's look at some practical advice to help seniors and their families thrive when living together. 1. Set clear boundaries and expectations. Talk openly about daily routines, privacy, chores, and how to handle conflicts. Clarity reduces misunderstandings. 2. Maintain personal space. Even in a busy home, seniors should have a dedicated area that feels like their own sanctuary, a place to rest, reflect, and recharge. 3. Encourage independence. Let seniors make decisions, manage their own schedules, and take part in family life at their own pace. 4. Communicate regularly. Everyone should feel safe expressing feelings, needs, and concerns. Family meetings can be a helpful way to check in. 5. Include seniors in activities. Whether it's cooking, gardening, playing games, or just chatting over coffee, engagement fosters connection. 6. Seek outside support if needed. Sometimes professional counseling, social groups, or respite care can ease the pressure and provide balance. Remember, living with family is not about perfect harmony, but about compassion, patience, and respect. By valuing the unique contributions of each person, and by honoring the senior's desire for autonomy and dignity, the household can become a place of warmth, growth, and mutual care. I hope this discussion has offered insights and encouragement. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories and wisdom about aging, family, and life's meaningful moments. You are never too much. Your life is valuable, your voice matters, and your presence is a gift. Thank you for watching.